not a fan.
Right.
I'm not a fan. But he has a lot of talent. He really does. He can box. He can punch.
T.O.'s at 147.
I think 140. I
Yeah,
think
140.
140. But I think he wants to go up. I think. And wasn't they talking about Ryan Garcia and Tank?
Well, they're saying that Devin Haney pushing for a rematch,
Yeah, and I heard Ryan
but
Garcia don't want to give it to him.
I like Haney. He's very skillful, but I just think that Ryan's style is wrong for him. I don't think. I think if Ryan comes in there as clean as a whistle, that he's still going to beat him. I just think that it's a lot of things he was lacking defensively. He kept getting caught with the same punch. That left of Garcia kept finding home.
True. You know, that's one thing that Ryan Garcia does have going for him. Whether people like him or not, he has very good hand speed. His
Yeah,
hand speed is exceptional, and
and got power with it.
he does. Yeah, left hook is serious. He gets you with it. He's very, very good. Um, I don't know. They say that he failed a drug test, that he didn't. You never know. You never know with these guys. You never really know. But Devin Haney has made some mistakes because you try to sue him, and now you want a rematch.
Right,
He's not
right,
gonna he's
right.
not gonna want to give you one now, especially now you're trying to take him to court and all this stuff. It's not gonna work that way. And I
Yeah.
mean, I think Devin Haney just needs to get over it, and hopefully he's not ruined because he took a lot of punishment in that fight. We have weight classes for a reason. It's another
Oh
thing,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Somebody comes in weighing. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
I am your daddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. So speaking of Shakur, what do you think about him and Kid Austin?
Not really excited about it. I don't. I've seen Kid Austin fight a few times. I wasn't really impressed. I don't think he's got much of a shot. Um, I really don't. I think style wise, he does. Because he tries to come to fight. You gotta put pressure on Shakur Stevenson, but I don't know. I don't. I'm really. I think he has a puncher's chance, if anything. But they say that he's coming out with. He's gonna have a good game plan. He's gonna have a good game plan, and maybe they can work on some things. And
Right. Cutting off that ring.
yeah,
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson just hops around like a fucking bunny,
Oh man.
just all over
Crazy.
the place, man.
All over.
Bang, bang, bang,
Hmm.
bang, bang. It just doesn't stay still. And I told you that Edwin Dos Santos, but like, man, you know, I mean, I know the guy hits hard, but you got to look at some of these other slick fighters, like you brought up Pernell Whitaker. Like Pernell Whitaker would never run like this from somebody. Pernell Whitaker, what was it like the last fight of Pernell Whitaker's career where he fought Tito? What was it, Tito Trinidad? And he didn't run from Trinidad. He tried to fight Trinidad. Suicide mission by all means. I mean, Tito's a monster too, man, knocking everything out. But he wouldn't run. He would try to evade and elude shots, with his footwork and his body movement and stuff. I don't know. Shakur Stevenson, if he could start, you know, letting his hands go more and you know not running as much, I think he could get a fan base. I think he could get back in the conversation for some of these things. But I think that fight hurt his reputation a lot.
Right.
I really do, and I don't think that and this is just me. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but I think Tank beats Haney and Shakur Stevenson in the same night. I think if he fought them both in the same night, he'd knock them both out. I really, I do. Tank can Tank can hit with both hands,
Yes, he
and
can.
he's not easy to hit. You try, your offense against him, he's slipping and stuff. And Tank has an IQ. He's been doing it since a kid.
And he could take a punch.
He can
And
take
to
a punch.
me, the power of Stevenson and Haney is not going to be sustainable enough to make him respected enough.
No, no,
Because it's not
it's not.
like they're, what's that one guy, Tank beat? He stays in Indiana, but he's from Detroit. Frank Martin.
I just was gonna
He
bring up
has
Frank
decent
Martin.
power.
Frank
And
Martin
eventually
won a few rounds.
he got found out once Tank saw the rhythm,
Yep.
started seeing, he's like, okay, I'm gonna get him.
But Frank Martin, what Tank wanted to do with Frank Martin. Frank Martin fought a good fight. I give him credit. He fought a good fight, disciplined fight. But see, what Tank was doing was, I'm gonna drown him late. I'm gonna drown him late. I'm gonna work his body. I'm gonna get him tired. He started getting tired, and he started looking very fatigued and stuff like that. And Tank, he's very good with his IQ. He finds those little openings in your defense that no one else, no one else sees. And it only takes one from him. Leah Santos Cruz sends him into the shadow realm. A fighter I like. I like Santa
Yeah,
Cruz,
he's
and
nice.
I
Yeah.
couldn't. He knocked him senseless. He terrible. The only guy that I could recall off the top of my head that Tank was weary of is Rolly.
Yeah.
Rolly's power, I think, had Tank a little concerned
Right.
because Tank was a little bit more patient against him than in
Hmm.
other fights. I don't think he wanted to rush anything because Rolly can't really box, but when he loads up on them shots, they're very heavy shots,
Right.
very heavy. And I don't think Tank wanted to get hit with too much of that. And when you're
Exactly.
dealing with a guy who is like a real slugger like Rolly, they're hitting you in the back of the head. They're not clean shots. They're all over.
Right.
So I don't think Tank wants to get hit with too much of that. And I think Tank, it shows like, where he is mentally as a boxer because, a lot of these guys, well, yeah, we could slug it out. We can do this. We can do that. Listen, it doesn't pay. It
Right.
doesn't pay to do that. If
Hmm.
you can box him and he can't box, take him out, outbox him. I mean, yeah, the fans want to see, knockouts and they want to see explosive fights. But look, if it's gonna be easy outboxing him, if the knockout presents itself, go for it. But
Exactly.
sometimes you gotta take the 12. But
Right.
a knockout did come. A shot eventually did come. He took it, laid him out, finished the job. But Tank can also go 12 if he's got to.
Exactly. And that's what I like about him. To your point, it's like Tank is not going to be reckless. He doesn't get real reckless. He doesn't waste a lot of punches. He's
No,
very much
economical.
precise with his punch placement. He knows where he's going to hit you. He knows how he's going to hit you, and he knows the effect of how it is when he does hit you.
Right.
The science of it, he understands that.
Yeah. And he has a killer instinct too. Like when he fought Mario Barrios. Barrios was actually in the 11th round, was ahead in the fight. And they told Tank, like, you're down.
Hmm.
And I remember he came out and he just wiped the floor with him.
Yeah.
11th round.
Hmm.
That's the thing with punchers too. That's tricky. Everybody, these guys who are big punchers and stuff like that, a lot of punchers don't carry their power late. Tank is different. Tank's taking his power all 12 rounds. So there
Yeah.
is no escape. You might get through the first 6, but believe me, if he catches you late, he'll finish you too. He'll hurt you too.
Yeah.
And he two knockdowns on Barrios, and he got up and he finished the job. Tank is like one of those guys too. He's a finisher. He can hurt you, but he's not gonna let you off the hook either.
Right. Yeah.
He's gonna finish the job. He's gonna finish the job. The only guy who gave him some trouble, and I guess even though he's an older guy and been in a lot of wars and a lot of punishment, Gamboa.
Yeah.
Gamboa
Yeah.
seemed to
Gamboa.
really, I don't know. Tank couldn't nail him down for a
Yeah.
while. Took
He's
him a while.
rugged, man. He's pretty rugged.
Yeah. Yeah. But Tank's a dog, though. Tank's a real dog. Tough guy. Tough.
And Pitbull Cruz, he's tough, but his only issue is he only has a certain dimension of how he can fight, being so little, and the way he comes in. A person like Rayo showed, if I'm a smart boxer, I'll just pick him apart all night, and you can't do nothing with him.
Yeah, I like Pitbull. I like Pitbull a lot, but yeah, it's Rayo. Rayo fought what's his name? Didn't he knock out Chris Colbert, right?
I think so. With the different color hair.
yeah. Oh man, he knocked him out. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. But yeah. I mean, styles make fights.
Yes, sir.
If you've got a good educated jab and you can box, and somebody's smaller and they've got to try bobbing and weaving and getting in, cutting that distance, and they can't do it. Like a Pitbull, only real chance he's got is like getting you against the ropes and doing some work there. But he's got to get you there, and if you can keep moving, then it's just gonna be a tough thing.
Right.
But yeah, it was an interesting fight. Fought two a Jeffe.
Ajaba.
Oh yeah, Ajabo. Yeah, he just fought.
Oh, that fight happened. I knew it was coming up.
Yeah, I saw it on YouTube. The clips of it. I think it happened.
That was him and who was that they paired him up with? It wasn't. I think who he fought.
Hold on a second.
It seemed like he fought somebody who was supposed to fight, and then that fight didn't happen, and then they put him in there with Fa.
Yeah, let me see here. Yeah, I can tell you right now. Okay, his name is Joseph Goodall from Australia.
Oh, okay. I'm not hip to him.
I'm actually not either. You're not alone.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's a few. They got a few videos on it, and they I don't know if this is the entire fight or the clips. Jaguar got an 85-inch reach. Joe Goodall.
Yeah. Ajaba is kind of like similar to like a Deontay Wilder. He doesn't really.
I think he's a lot like Deontay Wilder. Probably a better boxer, better jab. He doesn't hit as hard as Wilder naturally.
Right.
But I think he fights tall. He fights tall. He uses his range, but he's really he's really good. I'm watching. Oh, this was on Top Rank. This was on HBO. No, ESPN Plus.
Okay. Okay.
I won't spoil it for you. I'll let you check out the clips yourself. But I'm
Oh yeah.
watching it now. Okay, it looks like they had a little war going on. Yeah, his jab is really good though.
Yeah, it is. Because I remember he fought Frank Sanchez,
Right, and that's
and
where
that's
his
when
world came
Sanchez was at
down.
his peak.
Yep, and that's
But
when
it's
everything
like
fell apart. He lost bad. Couldn't
it's
hit
almost
him.
like when Frank fought one or two fights after Ajagba, his mobility wasn't there. Like he was picking up weight. He wasn't as you know fleet footed and smooth on his feet. It's like he was more of a standing target. I'm like, this
Uh
ain't the
oh!
Frank Sanchez we just saw.
Wow.
It's almost like he changed overnight.
Some of these guys, they can't. They're not disciplined enough. It takes a
Yeah.
lot to be a fighter. And to do. I don't even know if a lot of these fighters do like the road work and stuff like that. The necessary road work. Like you talk about like fighters from yesteryear, like 60s, 70s, 80s. These guys was putting weights on their feet and training
Mm-hmm.
and doing road work and in the heat and everything. These guys today, they don't really follow the same regimen as a lot of those guys back then. I think they do. Not saying they don't. I don't want to say that. I'm not in the gym with them, but the thing is, I think that they do a lot of sparring. Some guys like they just like James Toney was like that. Like instead of like working out and running, I'll do 200 rounds. Give me 200 rounds to stay gym ready, fight ready. But they don't like to run, and they take other ways to like stay in shape, not the conventional ways. So I think it's a little bit different.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, Graham, I agree, man. Wilder definitely hits harder than FA, but FA is better fundamentals.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think about Beater Beef and Bivol? That
Ooh, a rematch. Yeah.
they talking about February.
I, I I'm hearing. I'm not sure if it's true. Uh, Bivol is definitely very slick with his style of fighting, but I heard he's gonna come in more with the Anthony Yarde and Joe Smith Jr. approach. That's really rolling the dice with Batervius. Because if you can't put a dent in his armor and hurt him, he's gonna have you for lunch.
Wait a minute. When you say that, what are you saying? Like he's gonna come in trying to slug with him? Is that?
Yes, that's what I
Oh,
heard. I don't know
oh
if it's true.
well, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work out well for him.
Yeah,
Because that's. I
that
did
could
a
be very
video.
bad.
If it can be. It really. But a lot of people, what they didn't really point out about that fight either. I mean, a lot of people knocked B2B for like the performance and stuff like that. And you get like a lot of fans who are very fickle. Like when you're up, you're up. When you're down, you're down. But nobody really spoke about how B2B was coming back from not only a long layoff but also a surgery
That's
coming off
right. He
of
sure did. He did have that surgery.
so
Yeah.
so there was rush there, a lot of stuff that was going on, but everybody wanted to knock him. And whether people feel like Bivol won or not, it's just like he was never really given credit for that. You know, I think it was a pretty close fight. I had B2B winning it. I think the difference is B2B did not have he didn't have that explosiveness that he normally has. He didn't really have that. It seemed like in this fight, like usually he could like just hit guys, they fall over and stuff like that. He didn't seem to. I don't know. Maybe it was him coming back from the surgery, but he didn't seem to have the explosive. He did well. B2B. I mean, Baval. I think I don't know. I wasn't really all that impressed with Baval. I think Baval for him surviving. I think I think he did good in certain spots, but I think a lot of people fail to realize that punch stats are not what judges use to score fights.
Right. It's subjective.
Yes, and
And
also it's people that are counting the punches. They're using a computer to do that. That's like a lot of people don't seem to realize that it's two people playing with a computer toy. That's counting these punches. That's what it is. Like even back when like HBO and that's why the accuracy of CompuBox the punch stats used to always come in to question. It's people. It's people. They're using a computer toy, and they're counting the shots and stuff like that. But I mean, there's a lot. There's so much to look at. I mean, all right, what do you go for? I mean, like watching a fight. Like, do you go for cleaner punches? Like, you have every type of fight fan that likes what they like. You have judges that like what they like. You're gonna have judges who like a guy who's pressing a fight. He might not be
mhm.
scoring as much, but he's trying to make the fight. Then you got a guy who's backpedaling, but he's scoring clean shots, but he has no power on them. You know what I'm saying? So if I land two, but I hit harder than you, and you land eight, you know who who looks better? You know what I'm saying? It all
Mhm.
depends. It all depends. What the judges are seeing. Um, Vita didn't even have a mark on it on his face. After all the shots he took, he didn't have any cuts, anything. Bivol looked like he was in the car wreck. His face was swollen and stuff like that. I mean, B2B hits very hard, but the
Yeah.
thing is, I think Bivol, if Bivol wants to do better, you gotta sit down on your shots. You
Yeah.
gotta. I don't know. He doesn't seem like he has any real snap. I don't know. I'm hoping the rematch is better. I'm hoping the rematch is better, and I hope we get a winner. Hope we get a winner.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
And what about finally the Spence and Fundora? What have you heard about that?
Spence and Fundora.
Yeah.
Very, very it's gonna be different. One thing I like about Spence is he works that body very, very well.
Yep.
But
True.
Fundora has such a long reach. I guess the question is, can he be effective with that reach against Errol Spence?
Right.
Make him respect his jab enough to keep, you know, Spence from having to constantly, make adjustments. I don't know, man. It's a very interesting matchup there, man.
I agree. I agree with you. I think we have to see what Spence looks like coming back. What he looks like, how fast he can start. Because now he's dealing with a situation that's different. You're dealing with you're dealing with a guy who is really big, really, really big. But he's durable. He can punch, and he can actually fight on the inside too. Uh, so also Spence is in a new weight class now. So we got to see how he does
at
at
that weight.
154. Yeah, we got to
154,
see
yeah.
how he's going to do, how he deals with taking punches. Is his chin, how is his chin? He's had a good time off to recuperate from everything. So
Yeah.
I hope that it can be a really good fight. I gotta give Spence respect for taking the fight because for this to be like a comeback fight, this is more than dangerous. This is not a cherry pick or anything like that. This is, you're jumping right into the fire here. You're jumping in with a guy that's one of the top, and the weight class now, is no, cherry picks on the way in. So,
Well, yeah. And I'll piggyback on what you just said. It's funny you said that. I was just watching an interview with somebody who worked with Spence. I can't think of his name, but he's not Spence's trainer, but he
right,
actually did get to work with him a time or two. And he was
right,
saying that Spence said, if I get a fight, I don't want it to be easy. I want that challenge. I want that, that's just how Spence always been. He doesn't take warm ups.
right.
Yeah. That's what makes him special, though, because most guys ain't going to do that.
Well, see, that's the thing too. That's something that's different about today's boxing opposed to boxing, in the past, is that you have boxing fans who respect those fighters who dare to be. Please continue to engage and support, and thank you for rocking with me. And there is more to come. God bless you all. Until next time, I'm out.